Why I can't forgive Peter Obi? Okay. Make we hear now. Make you hear wetin Reno go talk. The news in detail. Everyone knows Reno Mokoro. He is popularly referred to as the table shaker. He was, for a long spell, a close aide and spokesperson for the former president Goodluck Jonathan, and then former vice president and presidential flag bearer for the People Democratic Party at the 2023 presidential elections, Atiku Abubakar. Reno is a die-hard and loyalist of Atiku and a staunch supporter of the PDP. He was also once close to the Labour Party flag bearer at the last presidential elections, the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi. Indeed, it is no longer a secret that it was Reno Mokri who recommended Peter Obi to Atiku as his running mate for the 2019 presidential election. Atiku trusted Reno's judgment and made Peter Obi's running mate for the election, which was eventually won by former President Muhammadu Buhari. But the closeness and cordial relationship which seemed to exist between Obi and Reno appears to have vanished, and in its place is a deep-seated hatred for each other. Today, it is commonplace to find Reno intensely criticizing his erstwhile friend Peter Obi and making nonsense of many of his claims made to enable him score political points against the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fairness to Obi, it is on record that he has not launched any personal attack against Reno, but Obi supporters, popularly known as the Obedient, have been on Reno's case, tearing him apart on social media whenever he criticizes Peter Obi. They bully him, they insult him, they spread falsehood. They spread falsehood against him and call him all sort of names. But things took a frightening dimension when the Obedience threatened to take not just the life of Reno Mokri, but also that of his daughter, who was only a year old at that time. For Mokri, this was taking things way too far, and it showed the battle line between him and Obi plus his supporters. And from the look of things, it does not appear that this battle will end anytime soon. Going by City People findings, Peter Obi appears to have wronged Reno Mokri very deeply. The situation between these two former friends appears to be a lot more intense than most people know. Why has Reno Mokri continued to be relentless online assault against Obi for so long? Is it likely that he could forgive Obi for whatever he did wrong to him? Here is what City People found out. Reno Mokri is clearly deeply pained by the threats and shot forward at him by Peter Obi supporters. But what has hurt him the most has been the nonchalance exhibited by Peter Obi to the whole matter. According to Reno, Peter Obi did not try to stop or caution his supporters from threatening the life of his daughter and insulting him, spreading all manner of lies against him. Instead, he kept quiet, encouraging them to go on. Now he has vowed not to stop his online assault against Obi, and neither is he ready to forgive him unless Peter Obi apologizes to him publicly, and then he will sheathe the sword. Hear him. The day Peter Obi apologizes publicly, not privately, for what his supporters did to my then one-year-old daughter, on my word, I will leave him alone. Till then, Aluta continua, he wrote on his verified X handle. In another tweet he posted, he asked the son of a former vice president to beg me. The response to the young man was, tell Peter to call him himself. First to do know the pain. When they were threatening to murder my child and physically coming to my house until the police gave me a home guard, did he beg? He will continue to shalaye. On one occasion that he spoke about the harassment he was getting from Obi supporters and the threat to take his daughter's life. Reno recalls that Obi annoyed him the more with his utterances. Obi told me that those people threatening my life and that of my daughter online are not real Obedience, but APC supporters masquerading as his supporters, like I was born last night. He went on further to reveal that an Igbo man who squatted in his Abuja home for 2 years was free. For 2 years, for free was the one that leaked his home address to those threatening his daughter's life. It was when some IPOB-looking men came to the house that I knew that this was a lot more serious than I thought. The police had to give me a police office guard to my home. When all of this was happening, Peter Obi said not a word. If my daughter had been murdered, it would not have mattered to him. This is the reason why I have vowed to keep on attacking him. A man like that does not deserve to be the president of Nigeria. A few days ago, a concerned Nigerian who had read Reno's post with the public, how Obi then threatened his daughter's life and how Obi looked the other way, he expressed sadness at the unpleasant situation and went on to inform the public that this was the reasons why Reno is bent on criticizing Peter Obi at every given opportunity. Reno read the post and responded, "Thank you for your feedback. Not one of the reasons, the only reason. And the annoying thing is that I reached Peter Obi privately and he was trying to convince me that it was Tinubu people masquerading as obedient. Can you imagine? I have it in my house in Abuja for 2 years." Okay, as if I was born last night. An Igbo man I accommodated free of charge in my house in Abuja for 2 years leaked my address. They came to my house. IPOB looking guys came to my house. They concocted all kinds of lies online against me. I cannot forgive a man and a movement that will come after my 1-year-old daughter. Peter Obi will never be the president of Nigeria as long as I live, and it will not end with him, because the behavior of some people I fought for 8 years of Buhari really opened my eyes to things I had been blind to. Let me not say more. Not so long ago, Peter Obi reacted to the news that the federal government was getting food aid from war-torn Ukraine, and he wondered why a country, Nigeria, blessed with vast land and energetic people, would turn to a war-torn country like Ukraine for food aid, when it had the potential to feed its people and even the parts of Africa. Reacting to Obi's comment, Emeka said, Waziri Atiku is a prominent Nigerian opposition leader. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso is also a prominent opposition leader. Yet, you don't see them celebrating every bit of bad news that happens in Nigeria. That is not opposition. That is desperation. A good opposition leader opposed the government in power. They do not oppose their country's progress. 2 students of a state university died in a stampede because the Nasarawa state government was sharing palliative at a time when Muslims were fasting for Ramadan and Christians are fasting for Lent. You could not condole or be sensitive to the situation. Instead, you released a post blaming the federal government for something that occurred at a state level. Omokri aides added that meanwhile, more people died at stampedes in your state when you were governor. Absolutely nobody politicizes. Please fact-check me. Peter Obi is too desperate to be president, which is not a good sign. Those who want to serve the people are usually passionate. They are never desperate. Desperation is afraid of those who want to serve themselves. Just watch how his desperate followers will come here insulting. Do you know why they insult? Because they cannot dispute the facts above. It remains to be seen if these two erstwhile friends will ever be friends again. It remains to be seen if Peter Obi will ever find it necessary to apologize to Reno Mokri for the threat made to the life and that of his daughter by Obi and obedient. But for how long will Reno continue to shred Obi apart online? Time will say, time will surely tell. But I want to say this. You coming out to say that Obi is not passionate, Oga, nobody is going to agree with you. Because to me, coming out to say he's being desperate, I beg, the person will sit down there, can you measure his desperation with that of that's your friend, the person you call your friend? Fine, I was never in support of the threat they gave to Reno's daughter. That is a joke taken too far. You understand? It is a joke. Could make sense. It doesn't. But you want him to come outside. He cannot control these people. He can't. Even if you tell them, make it stop. Okay, now let me give you a perfect example. A perfect example of this, you know, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and the person of Nnamdi Kanu. He started sit at home in the southeast. They started it because of him. He actually permitted them, as in he supported the idea. But when you come here, say this sit at home, they bring down the economy of the southeast to the the economy of this southeast is under attack because of that sit at home. When he came outside and said, make them not continue, they no answer. They no answer. You want this people, you cannot control these people. You can't control the behavior. Now, Tinubu supporters, when they heard that it was Tinubu supporters that were attacking the Igbos in some places in the country, did you see Tinubu come outside to come and say, my people stop? Come on now. We don't go come in between them. If they won't settle, my dear, then go settle their differences. But you coming out to say some things about no. Make I stop here, I don't to go far. Alright, on this note, we've gone to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen until I come your way next time. Enjoy.